In a sense, the most explosive part of this, I guess, is the question about, so we understand we have all these illegal migrants. This is the most sophisticated country in the world. Why can't we, or why don't we stop them? And the analysis which Gordon's offering is, I think, exactly correct. Well, it's because we're, in a sense, not quite trying. This is not the only area in which we observe governments pretending to act and, in a sense, quite deliberately understanding that they are missing the ball. Jagdish Bhagwati, I think it must be 20 years ago now, coined the phrase porous protection and argued that a lot of the non-tariff barriers, so-called voluntary export restraints, which the US and Europe were imposing on developing country exports in the 80s, were in fact designed have a very loud bark, but really not too much bite. You might exclude the stuff from Taiwan, but if you weren't pinning down the stuff from Korea, you ended up with the same number of units. And that's essentially, I think, the argument that Gordon is promoting about the border with Mexico. For political reasons, there are all sorts of incentives for politicians to bark and to appear to be very active, but there is a very strong lobby that says, frankly, it's better if you don't try too hard. I think there's a question then about why the government would go along with that, however. It's not, it may just be craven, in a sense, craven submission to the lobby groups, but it's also worth asking, why might it be that the US government thinks it's better to have people coming in illegally than legally? And I think the basic reason is that particularly in the US, a society of immigrants, a very strong tradition of full assimilation of people into the society. In a sense, you are offering to let people in with more or less the full set of rights. If they come legally, they become fully integrated into the society, can make a full set of demands on the society as well as making a full contribution. There certainly are cases where, if in a sense people are being offered the full set of rights, to the locals it doesn't look as if you want to let them in, whereas if you could bring yourself to offer them only a partial set of rights, then you'd be perfectly happy to have them because they would be cheaper. And the parallel, I don't recommend this as particularly as an immigration regime, but if one looks at the immigration from countries, particularly say South Asia, but not only South Asia, into the Gulf, not the Gulf of Mexico, the Persian Gulf, there, it's very plain, lots and lots of people go, they earn lots of money, but they have very few rights and they're kicked out after 3 or 4 years. It's a very non-American way, but it is a way of allowing a quite explicit and formal way of saying, we will have the cheap labor, thank you very much, but we are not prepared to give you the things that go with citizenship. That's something which you may or may not feel that is a good thing, a good reflection on US society, but that's something which US society finds very difficult to do.